Paul says in Galatians 4:12, "Dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to live as I do in freedom." He's basically saying, follow me, live like I live. Who does this guy think he is? And what is it about following people that's so appealing to us? Why do we do it? What is it about people that compels us to follow them? Do you know who the top 3 currently most followed people on Instagram are? Pop singer Selena Gomez, soccer star Cristiano Ronaldo, and another pop singer Ariana Grande. These 3 celebrities account for a whopping 377 million followers. 377 million. That's 5% of the world's population. Oh, and just an FYI, the next 6 most followed people are also singers or television personalities. And Facebook's the same. The top 10 most followed people are all sports stars or music icons. So why do we follow them? Do we want to emulate their lives, their style, their abilities? Do we want to learn from them? Or maybe we have similar beliefs and want validation from someone famous. Or sometimes we follow people who we think are a mess just because we enjoy watching the train wreck. So what is the common denominator for all these people? Well, they all have extraordinary talent and larger-than-life personalities, but whatever it is, the point is that there's something about their lives that compels us to follow them. But the thing is, that is not what Paul is talking about here when he says to live like I do. In fact, he says that he was sick when he was with them, and even in his weak condition, the Galatians didn't reject him, which maybe they would have been tempted to do. After all, how many of us intentionally follow people we think are weak? But that's Paul's point, isn't it? He's not pleading with the church in Galatia as a means to point them to himself, as he argues the Judaizers are doing. Paul's ultimately pointing them to Christ. A few books back in the Bible, Paul says, "Follow me as I follow Christ." He's saying, come on, gang, let's follow this guy. See, first it was pagan gods that people were turning to. But then it was these weak and worthless principles, these elements of religious training and ceremonies. And whether it was worshiping false gods or putting their trust in their tasks, the result was the same. They became captive to the things that they followed. Paul is pleading with the Galatians and us to join him in following Christ because it's the only way to live a free life. And Paul says that the sign he saw in the Galatians when they were living free was a joyful and grateful spirit. I don't know about you, but if that's the barometer for freedom, there are more days than I'd care to admit when I'm in trouble. And maybe the trick is to guard who we follow. Now, I'm not telling you to delete everyone you follow on social media. My point isn't about entertainment, it's about allegiance. When we give our allegiance to anything besides Jesus, the results can be anxiety, self-doubt, and slavery. But when we follow Christ, when His strength is made perfect in our weakness, we have the opportunity to experience the life that Christ died for, one of joy and a grateful spirit. So then, why is it that even those of us who call ourselves Christ followers still feel the pain of the chains of slavery sometimes? Well, I think it's because we're still tempted to let our political and social beliefs, our passions, and our desires guide our lives instead of the Holy Spirit. It's just the human condition, and Paul just won't let us off the hook about it. He's going to continue to hammer the importance of freedom in the Spirit through the rest of Galatians chapter 4. But that's a conversation for next week.